Let's go! Come on, man! Eagles win! Eagles win! Oh my gosh, man, I am fired up. It is 11:20 p.m. Eastern, and I'm not going to sleep tonight. You know why? Because I'm going to be laughing all the way to the bank. I'm going to be laughing because the Giants chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley. Oh my gosh, man. The Eagles win. The Eagles win. The Eagles win. The Eagles win. They have won 6 in a row. They beat down the Commanders at home a chilly Thursday night at the Link and are 8-2. Think about the tumultuous start to the season, all the drama. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what was transpiring. They go into the bye week. They fix everything. This defense is on elite level. That's right. I said it. I didn't say good. I didn't say great. They are elite. This defense is elite. They won this game. The Eagles offense should take them out to dinner tonight, and they should take them out to breakfast tomorrow. The defense won this game. And that boy, Saquon Barkley, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my. I could shed a damn tear tonight. I'm not even joking, man. That is unbelievable. What a game for the Philadelphia Eagles to hold this high-powered, prolific offense to 18 points, pretty much 10 points the entire game to make the stop of the game in the fourth quarter. Oh, man, we have a lot to get into. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into the A to Z postgame show right here on A to Z Philly. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Do me a favor, man. Drop some birds in the chat, baby, because the Eagles have won 6 in a row and they're 8-2. Drop some birds in the chat. We have so much to get to, man. This is the A to Z postgame show presented by BetMGM. Use our bonus code ATOZPA. Ladies and gentlemen, I just won 2 bets on BetMGM. I won a 4-leg parlay. You guys want to know what it was? It was Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Thank the Lord for the tush push. Thank the Lord he wasn't concussed. I got A.J. Brown over 60. I got Saquon over 100. And Eagles money line, baby. We win. And then just for fun, I took the Eagles spread when it was at 3.5. I took the Eagles spread at 3.5. I won everything. We are cha-chinging tonight. Shout out to BetMGM. Oh my gosh, man, what a night it was. Let's stick it to football, man. This team is unbelievable. This team is unbelievable. They know how to give you a heart attack. The Eagles show up to the game in the first half, and they're like, you know what? We're going to piss the entire fan base off. We don't know how to play football. We forgot how to throw the ball over the middle of the field. After it works 2 times to AJ early in the game, we forgot how to, use Saquon in the gaps. We don't know how to do anything. And then they come back in the second half. Jalen Hurts goes from potentially being concussed. We'll talk about that because he got slammed on the ground twice. And he doesn't miss a beat in the second half. I don't know what his completions were. I don't even know if Jalen threw an incomplete or more than a couple in the second half. That's how good he was. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley. And in the fourth quarter, deep in the trenches, you need a stop. You're up by 2, and the Commanders are pushing the ball down the field. They're pushing the ball down the field. And what does the Eagles do? They make the stop of the century. They make the stop of the century, ladies and gentlemen. The Commanders have it 2nd and 1 at the Eagles 25. Brian Robinson up the middle. No can do. Brian Robinson up the middle. Loss of 1. Jalen Carter, you are an absolute mammoth. And then what happens after that? Commanders say, okay, 4th and 2. 4th and 2. What are we going to do? Do we go Nick Sirianni mode and go for it? Or do we take the points? And I'm sitting there watching TV. I'm like, damn, they're about to go up by 1. But what do? They keep Jaden Daniels in, who's playing with a cut on his pinky, a cut on his ring finger, cut on his middle finger. He's got bruised ribs. They're like, let's keep him in. And he hikes the ball. And he fumbles the snap. And I'm screaming, get him! Get him! And he runs it outside. And Zach Bond, ladies and gentlemen, pay him tonight. Zach Bond chases him down. Reed Blankenship comes out of nowhere. Boom! Bond gets off the block, bumps him out of bounds. And the Eagles take over. The Commanders lost the game in that moment. I said it to everybody I was watching the game with. I said, In that moment, the Commanders just lost the game. And what happened? Saquon, who apparently gets better as the game goes on. This man is like fine wine, ladies and gentlemen. Saquon's like, you know what, Jalen? I got you. I got you, Jalen. I've already ran the ball, 15, 20 times? But I got you. I'll take over. Eagles go from getting the ball back, 5 plays, 74 yards down the field. First, Jalen throws to Dallas Goedert, and I literally almost had a heart attack. I'm not even joking. I see Dallas Goedert, and I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to stay in bounds. Let me little tiptoe, but here comes a Washington defender. Boom, he punches it out. I'm like, no! The Eagles are not going to get this ball. And swooping in like a damn hawk is Grant Calcaterra. Grant, we love you, baby. Grant might be the MVP of this game. He comes swooping in and dives all over that football, and the Eagles keep going, and Saquon Barkley, 3rd and 3 at the 23. Eagles know they got 3. Nah, we're good. Let's take 7. Saquon runs it outside, untouched, to the end zone. Jake Elliott actually gets his head out of his ass and makes an extra point, and that puts the Eagles up 9. And then what happens? Eagles come back, and I'm telling you, we can talk about the offense. We could talk about Saquon. This defense, Vic Fangio, I'd give you a hug if I saw you right now. Whatever Vic Fangio is sprinkling on this defense is unbelievable. This is real Eagles defense. This is Eagles culture, Eagles football. They blitzed in the most opportune times tonight. They didn't do it much, but they got to Jayden Daniels. What do you have, 4 or 5 sacks? They made this rookie quarterback, who has looked like a damn legend as a rookie, look like an actual rookie quarterback. Coverage was great. We'll give a shout out to Quinyon in a second, but Reed Blankenship pulls right in front of Noah Brown and takes that back, and he sucks the life out of Jayden Daniels. And then just for fun, Saquon says, I got you, bro. I got you. Let me go ahead and run, what was it? A 39-yard rushing touchdown. 39 yards. Saquon Barkley, thank you, man. Thank you for coming to Philadelphia. Thank you for defying the New York Giants, who went behind your back and they twisted the knife. And that GM should be fired tonight. He should wake up in the morning, because I know he didn't watch this damn game. He's too sick to his stomach. That Giants GM, whatever his name is, Shone, Blown, you should get out of there. You suck. You chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley. This guy is unbelievable. And I'll end it off this opening monologue by saying this. Through all the adversity that this team went through tonight, the referees, which we'll talk about, Jake Elliott, Jalen Hurts looking like he got concussed, for them to fight through this game against a really good Commanders team and punch them in the mouth in the fourth quarter, what a win, man. What a win. One of the best wins I have seen, man. One of the best wins I have seen. Unbelievable game. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got a lot of people in here rocking tonight. Do me a favor, if you're on the YouTube channel, like the show right now. Hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 7K subs. If you're on Facebook, like and share. Sharing is caring. Holy crap, man. What a game for the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Ladies and gentlemen, one word in the chat right now. One word in the chat to describe this game. One word in the chat to describe this game. I have so many people I want to talk about, man. The emotion of this game. It felt like they were going to lose for 3 quarters. It felt like they were going down. Nothing was bouncing their way. I mean, we could talk about the referees. The referees are garbage. NFL, you got to do something about this, man. You got to do something about this, NFL. This is becoming a major issue. This is becoming a major issue, NFL. You got a Cooper DeJean 3rd and 5 where the Eagles are getting ready to take back over, and he barely shrugs the jersey, and you call a PI? How dare them come at Cooper DeJean like that? And then later, just on the next drive, Devontae Smith gets his neck ripped off. Shout out to Devontae, birthday boy, 26 years old. He almost gets his neck ripped off. The stupid officials looking at him 2 feet away, and he doesn't call it. The other guy comes running in and calls it. Then they have a little group meeting and say, nope, no face mask. And then they go to Terry McCauley. He's like, I don't know what they're saying. It was a face mask. Yeah, you're damn right it was a face mask. Couple plays later, They don't call the Saquon touchdown. Thankfully, they didn't because I won my damn parlay. So thank you, odds makers. But Jalen Hurts tush push for the win, man. Ladies and gentlemen, one word in the chat to describe this game. The word of the night for me has to be, how would I describe this game, man? I mean, the word that's coming to my head is thriller. It wasn't a thriller because the Eagles pretty much had it in hand at the end, but just the range of emotions going from feeling lost in this game to, damn, we're really going to miss out on opportunities because the damn kicker's leaving 7 points out there, for then Saquon to come with 2 rushing touchdowns in the fourth. I don't think there is a better running back in the NFL than Saquon. I don't know many Eagles. I'd have to go back a ways in history to find Eagles who have had a better start, more contribution to their team, to this team, than Saquon Barkley in his first year. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. Unbelievable. My word of the night is thriller. This was it felt like a playoff game. It felt like one of those gritty, gutsy playoff games at the Link. My gosh, man. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a win. What a win, man. And not only do they win tonight, but they take control of the NFC East. They take control of the conference. I know the Lions are still up there, but it just feels like they are emerging as one of the favorites in the NFC. So many guys to talk about tonight. We'll get to them all, man. Let's read some of your words out in the chat. I see exciting Gainwell. Gainwell had a couple big-time runs to set up one of the Eagles' red zone possessions. Gainwell was huge for a couple plays. Let's see. Epic, Saquon, Hard Knocks, Carter. What else we got? Awesome, Mitchell, ass-kicking, resilient, Pay Bond, dominance. Pay Zach Bond whatever he wants, man. Pay Zach Bond right now. He had a couple big plays early. He had a big-time tackle. I mean, this guy just makes play after play after play. The Eagles linebackers made some crucial plays in this game. Nakobe with a couple big open field tackles. That's all the Commanders were doing. They were throwing the ball in the open field and letting their backs try to beat the Eagles linebackers one-on-one. And let's be honest, it wasn't perfect in this game. I thought the defense was giving up more than they should have in the first half. But when it mattered, this defense came alive. They got to Jaden Daniels. They finished with how many sacks? It says only 3, but I think it was 4. And man, I mean, they put him on his behind. They didn't let him run that much. Jaden Daniels only had 7 carries for 18 yards. My gosh, man, they got better. They got better as the game went on. And I got to give a shout out to Quinyon Mitchell. Ladies and gentlemen, do what you got to do. Clip this. I don't care. All right. Quinyon Mitchell is already one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League. He is a rookie. And for him to go out here every week, Terry McLaurin didn't even have a target till what? Was it late 3rd, early 4th? Terry McLaurin had 1 catch in this game, 2 targets. 1 catch for Terry McLaurin, who has been one of the best receivers in the NFL. That was Quinyon Mitchell with Terry McLaurin on an island. Did they play zone in this game? Yes, they did. I thought Vic Fangio had a good balance of defense in this game. But when Quinyon was on Terry, I don't even think he gave up a catch. Quinyon Mitchell has locked up CeeDee Lamb. He has locked up Jamar Chase. He has locked up Mike Evans. He has locked up Terry McLaurin. Who can he lock up? Malik Neighbors, locked up. Quinyon Mitchell is the truth, man. Quinyon is the truth. Cooper DeJean is the truth as well. There were a couple plays where I thought he gave up a little bit too much cushion, but it doesn't matter, man. This secondary is rock solid. And the boys up front, how about Nolan Smith with a sack? How about Jalen Carter eating double teams like it's for breakfast? This defensive line is rock solid. Everything on his defense is solid. It really is. Does the offense have trouble getting into rhythm? Yeah. Is it a bit concerning? Yeah, because you could get into a playoff game and, you might go scoreless in the first half. If the second half is amazing like it was, I mean, you scored 23 in the second half, beautiful, but you can't get behind every single week. They got to clean that up. But the 2024 Eagles, are not the 2023 Eagles, because this team can turn it on like a light switch, and they're not just winning games by 1 point, and we know they probably shouldn't have won, right? This team asserts their dominance in the second half. Holy smokes, man. Everybody contributed to this win, but when the Eagles' offense was sputtering, when they had no life, it was the defense that kept this team in the game. And Vic Fangio has this team as the second best defense. They might go to number 1 this week. They have been so damn good since the bye week in every category. I mean, who was really on fire for the Commanders in this game? Eckler was their leading receiver. Ertz had, a couple catches at the end. He had the little toe tap in the end zone. Congratulations. We love you, Zach Ertz. It makes me sick seeing you in a Commanders uniform. But Zach Ertz cannot win them a football game. John Bates. Who the hell is John Bates? Eagles secondary was on locks again. All the Commanders did was these little dinks and dunks down the field and try to make the Eagles miss in open space, but it wasn't happening. And even when the Commanders put together good drives, the Eagles made the big stop, and they made the biggest stop of the game, 3 plays in a row. Commanders should have took the points. The game was over right there. Boy, oh boy, man. What a game. What a game. I mean, the Eagles come out early. Jahan Dotson has a big third down drop. They go AJ over the middle twice, and I'm screaming, man, keep using the middle of the field. They had Saquon, who caught a pass, ran for 43 over the middle of the field on third down. I don't get why this team makes it harder on themselves sometimes. I don't get why they do that, right? They keep trying to tail to the sideline. Use the middle of the field. You got guys who are some of the best yard after catch receivers in the NFL. They can't be stopped. AJ cannot be stopped. And you're going up against the middle of the pack defense with a weak secondary. Use them. Use them over the middle of the field. Put them in bad situations. And then we have the elephant in the room, man. And look, I'm not trying to be negative, but we got to talk about it, okay? I got a question for the chat. Actually, you know what? I got a question for the chat. I'm going to give you my answer, but let me know in the chat right now. Are you officially worried about Jake Elliott? Are you officially worried about Jake Elliott? Let me know in the chat right now, yes or no. Are you worried about Jake Elliott? And before I give you my answer, let me give a shout out to our great sponsor of today's show, our partner all season long, BetMGM. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up with the code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet when you register with BetMGM. You'll get instant access to parlays, live bets, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So sign up today with the bonus code ATOZPA. Get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. Brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Download the app. Please gamble responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, I hit 2 big bets today. I took the Eagles minus 3.5. And I took a 4-leg parlay, which hit. We are winning big tonight. Am I worried about Jake Elliott, though? Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. I am. This was probably the worst game of Jake Elliott's career. He left 7 points on the board. He almost missed another extra point later. All of them were tailing to the left. Now, am I going to say, well, I'm sorry, Nick, for your decisions to constantly not kick field goals? No, I'm not. But the Eagles are only one of 3 teams to not have a 50-plus yarder this year. I believe Elliott is 0 for 4 from 50 beyond. I don't know what's going on with him, man. I don't know what's going on with Jake Elliott. I'm not to the point where I'm ready to can him tomorrow, but he's got to fix it. He has to fix it. You cannot leave 7 points on the board. I mean, the first drive of the game, you're using AJ over the middle of the field, and then you have a bad penalty on Becton. Offense gets backed up a bit. It's a 44-yard field goal, and he just tails it all the way left. And then a little while later, a couple drives later, you have the trick play, and I wanted to get into that, but I'll just say on that drive, Jake Elliott ends up missing a field goal. Now, they shouldn't have been pushed back as much as they were, but come on, Jake. This team relies upon you. You were really one of the MVPs in that Super Bowl year as a rookie, and you've been rock solid. We need you. We need you. Let's see what the chat is saying. Rich says no, he's going to correct it next week. John says yeah. Tammy says no. Tom says very much so. Paul says no. Lou says kind of. Short rest didn't help. Nico says just had a bad game. Brad says not worried enough to cut him. I agree with that. I would not cut Jake Elliott. ABD says no, it's a rough game. He hasn't had a ton of field goal opportunities. Phil says something has to be wrong with his mechanics. I don't know, man. Maybe he was just in his head. Maybe he was just in his head. Jim says mentally he's going through it. I think Nick not using him early messed with him. Could be. But yeah, I'm not ready to get rid of the guy, but I am a little bit worried at his inability to hit these 50-plus yard field goals this year and some of these extra points. So hopefully he can get that worked out. Maybe it's just a mechanic thing. I'm sure they'll talk to him during the week. But what I'm even more concerned with was the Jalen Hurts hit to the head. All right. And whether it was Kellen Moore, Nick Sirianni, probably Kellen Moore, that trick play was one of the worst play calls I've ever seen. And it wasn't just the play call, it was the timing of it, right? You as an offense know that you struggle in the first half and you're finally moving the ball down the field. You're finally moving the ball down the field in the second quarter. You have no points and you get it down 1st and 10 to the Washington 36 and you try a triple reverse trick play. And I don't even think the offensive line knew what was going on really. And I think it was Landon Dickerson who got hurt, by the way, came back in. He like pushes this guy into Jalen almost. And Jalen doesn't even see him coming. And Jalen gets his head pounded on the turf, or excuse me, on the grass. And then he rolls over. He rolls over. I'm like, oh no, are you okay? I don't think a lot of people caught that. But he gets up, a little bit shaky, okay. But that took you out of field goal range, and then you weren't even able to get it back in. Eagles were 0 for 2 on their first 2 red zone drives, and they had missed 2 field goals as well. And I thought that was going to be, you know, the knife in the back. I thought that was what was going to be the thing to take you out. And I just thought that the timing of that play was absolutely atrocious. Plus, you got Jalen Hurts injured. So then again, a couple plays later at the 33, and Elliott misses a 51-yarder. But I just don't get why you try that on a first down. I understand trying the trick, the home run in a big game, but not on first down when you're at the 36 and you're rolling. Didn't make sense. But anyway, later on, before the end of the first half, you have Jalen Hurts, who is moving the ball again. 3rd and 8 at the 18. Screen went black, but Jalen Hurts scrambles, gets a first down. Kenny Gainwell made a couple nice plays. But then 3rd and 3 at Washington's 3-yard line. Jalen runs up in the pocket, and he's still having a little bit of issues where the awareness of the pocket isn't quite there, and he kind of tries to escape too early. He runs up and tries to flip it, but then you have AJ and Devontae who run into each other. They ended up being open, but they ran into each other. Jalen goes down again, and he gets his head rammed into the grass again. So not only do you not score, you come up empty there on a touchdown, you finally get 3 points, but I thought Jalen might not have even come back into this game. That's how bad it looked. They took him into the medical tent. He came up shaky. I'm like, no, please don't do it. Please don't do it to us, man. Jalen did not look good, and I hope he does not have a concussion. I 100% support him doing what's best for him in that situation. But the toughness to stay in this game and to come back in the second half after a bad first half and be locked in the way he was to make these big throws. He does it every game. Jalen Hurts is a second half quarterback right now. He is a winning quarterback late in crunch time. He always takes his team on a big drive to win it. So honestly, I did not like the look from Jalen getting his head pounded twice. And one other thing I want to add on that is I feel like the Washington Commanders were getting a little too chippy in this game. I understand the division rivals and, going for the best record in the NFC East and all that. But the referees were standing there watching these dudes get hit after the play. Couple times Saquon got rolled up on. Couple times Jalen got rolled up on. Jalen Carter got shoved at one point. I'm watching these dudes get hit 5 seconds after the play, and the referees are just standing there letting it happen. There was a couple shoving matches in this game. I just did not like the way that this game was officiated at all. I did not like any part about it. And I'm just thankful that Jalen was able to stay in this game. I mentioned the Cooper DeJean pass interference, which was complete bogus. I mean, he tugged the jersey a little bit, but ridiculous. Did not think that that should have been a penalty. And if that's a penalty, then Devontae Smith getting whipped around by the neck should have been a penalty. Literally got the whole helmet almost pulled off. So honestly, I think the NFL has to do something. I mean, you had the game last week on Thursday. Bengals, Jamar Chase got held trying to go for the game-winning 2-point conversion. Nothing called. You had the Sam Darnold face mask a couple weeks ago. Not called. Ladies and gentlemen, though, Quinyon Mitchell, I just saw it right here. Hold on, let me pull it up, actually. I'm going to pull it up here on Twitter, and then I'll get to some more of your comments, man. Quinyon Mitchell has to be one of the MVPs of this game, man. Who can he not guard? Quinyon is one of the best corners in the NFL. Quinyon Mitchell is an absolute superstar. Let me pull this up for you guys. Quinyon Mitchell tonight versus Terry McLaurin. 20 routes run, 0 targets, 0 receptions, and 0 yards. I don't know who the catch was on. It might have been DeJean. But yo, Quinyon Mitchell is legit, ladies and gentlemen. He's the guy. Like, he is the guy. There's no more telling or saying, well, if he locks down this guy, we'll see how he does in this matchup. Quinyon Mitchell is one of the reasons that this entire defense has been overhauled and is legit and is elite. We're not calling this defense great anymore. We're calling them elite right now. They are playing elite football, man. Another thing, Saquon Barkley is now the new NFL rushing leader until Sunday at least. Barkley, 1,137 yards. Henry will probably pass him. They don't have their bye week till week 14, but Saquon Barkley in this game, and I know I've talked about it, mentioned it, but for Saquon Barkley to do this again, this is his 6th 100-yard rushing game of the season. It took him, 27 games? I think it was. I don't even know how many it was, but Saquon Barkley has 6 100-yard rushing games in 9 games with the Philadelphia Eagles. Has there ever been a player to impact the team like this in his first season or impact the Eagles right away like this? 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had the 39-yard rush, the 23 in the 4th. He has a big play that changes the magnitude of the offense every week. And then don't forget, 2 catches for 52 yards. He had the 43-yard reception. I have run out of things to say about Saquon Barkley. I have run out of superlatives to describe this man's impact on this football team. And as I say every single week, as I've said since week 1, the Eagles are a rushing team, ladies and gentlemen. They are a run-first team, 40 carries tonight. They threw the ball 28 times. Jalen didn't throw any touchdowns, but they had 3 rushing touchdowns. And it is thanks. Saquon, by the way, probably would have had a 3rd one if they gave him the other one. But 228 yards on the ground. The Eagles came into this averaging 176 yards per game on the ground. They run it for 228 yards. And that was Washington's weakness. And the Eagles are smart enough now to use common sense to come in. You take your best strength against their biggest weakness, and you just run it down their throat. That's what the Eagles have done. They have finally gotten into a rhythm now. They did it against bad teams. They did it against good teams. They come in every week, and they now establish the run, and they never look back. And I think my biggest takeaway about Saquon tonight is he didn't even get going really till the 3rd quarter. I think how many carries did he have in the first half? I wrote it down somewhere. He had 15 touches in the first half, 15 carries and 1 catch. And he only had 56 yards in the first half. He was having to earn every one of those yards because the offensive line played like absolute crap in the first half. By the way, the O-line really stepped it up big time in the second half. But Saquon had to earn every little bit of those yards. And he comes out in the second half and gets 10 times better. This guy, man, I don't know what else to say. He was averaging 3.7 yards per carry at halftime. Let's see how much he finished with. Guy runs it for 26 times for 146 yards. 5.6 per carry. I just don't even know what to say. Honestly, if you want my real opinion, I think Saquon should be in the MVP conversation. That's how good he's been. He won't win it. But I think he should be in the MVP convo at least because the impact that he has had on this football team, the amount of games that he has won by sparking this offense at the right time is amazing. Dallas Goedert, 5 catches in this game, a couple big opportunities, a couple opportune moments. Again, that fumble that he had, though, and Grant Calcaterra saving the day. You know, for Calcaterra, who played really good in his absence and obviously hasn't played since his return, for Grant Calcaterra to swoop in and grab that ball up, man, I mean, this was a team win. This was a team win. Brandon Graham had a sack today. Josh Sweat, those guys, man, just continue to be presences on the outside. But, man, I just kept seeing Jalen Carter in this game just find his way to Jaden Daniels. Like, he was making him uncomfortable. And Zach Bond once again leads the team in tackles. 9 for Zach Bond, or 15 total for Zach Bond, 10 for Nakobe. Damn, man. Wow. All right. If you guys have comments, thoughts, questions in the chat, drop them right now. How do you feel? On a scale from 1 to 10, how confident are you in the Philadelphia Eagles right now? I think I would have to say like an 8 or 9. I really would. This team's playing amazing football. Obviously, you got to be playing it at the right time. But you look at the schedule coming up. I mean, this was a statement game, man. And it was on a short week. It was a weird, like, chilly night. It was a low-scoring game at first. And they fought through the refs. They fought through, you know, the offense not doing anything. And the defense just makes stop after stop after stop. And even now, if they're banged up, at least they get to wait 10 days to play again. Man. The defensive line also took Brian Robinson out of the game in the second half. Like, Commanders were running it well in the first half. It kind of died out. But, man. The only thing I'm concerned about with this Eagles team is they can't go scoreless in the first half against, you know, a Super Bowl caliber team. Like if they play the Lions, for example, in the playoffs, they got to come out of the gate shooting right away. But this defense is elite, man. This defense is elite. Ryan says, great team win tonight. Derek says, team win. Play-by-play with JJ What's Up says, that was an ugly win, but it's a win. Carlos says 9. Carlos says 99. ABD says 8. Tom says a solid 8. Derek with a 9. Jamie with a 9. David with an 8.5. Brian with an 8. Jim with an 8.9 if Jake gets right. Carlos's real score should have been 33-10. Play-by-play with JJ with a 5. Phil says 9. It was a short week. Brian says firm 8. Need to tighten a few things up. Ryan Rowe with a 9. Look, man, at the end of the day, I just, there's a lot to still clean up, but the way that they won this game and to just come alive again, right? Like last year we saw this team win games, but it was usually because the other team, you know, kind of coughed it up at the end, right? Like I'm not going to take away some of the good wins they had last year against, you know, Buffalo and Kansas City, but it was usually the other teams, right? And then they showed that identity and they crumpled later in the season. I just don't see that with this team right now. They're getting stronger as they go. And I really think that by utilizing your youth and playing your draft picks and investing in those guys early on, it has changed his team. And you know what the best part about this night was? It was seeing Sixers owner Josh Harris up there in his cute little suite with his buddy Bob Myers up there talking, acting like he's going to win this game. Joshua Harris should have to sell the Sixers tonight. How dare you have the Washington Commanders and the Sixers in your portfolio? Seeing Josh Harris up there, they should have showed him at the end of the game. They should have showed him at the end of the game. Man. And look, I got respect for Jaden Daniels. He's a good quarterback, man. He didn't really make many mistakes, but he finally made a mistake. I mean, this guy had 2 interceptions coming into this game in week 11. That is the least amount of INTs by a rookie in the first 10 games all time. Like, he doesn't make mistakes. So for Reed Blankenship to jump the route and take one away, I mean, man, oh man. Yeah, I've talked about it a lot. I think the Eagles can still even do better. Like, obviously, Jake Elliott needs to get his stuff together. They need to use the middle of the field. They need to do that early on. If this Eagles team starts scoring in the first quarter, like, they're going to average 35 a game. Easy. But to get this win on a short week and to do it the way that you did was just unbelievable. My gosh, man. Here we go. This is what I wanted to see, man. This is what I wanted to see. Quinyon Mitchell, first 11 games, or first 11 weeks of his career, first 10 games. 1 catch against the Packers he lets up. Drake London, 1 catch, who, by the way, is having a great year. Chris Olave, 2 catches. Mike Evans, 2 catches. Amari Cooper, 1 catch. Malik Neighbors, 1 catch. Jamar Chase, 2 for 19. 1 catch against the Jaguars. CeeDee Lamb, 2 catches. Terry McLaurin with nada. Yo. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think Quinyon Mitchell should win Rookie of the Year? I think he should. I think he should win Defensive Rookie of the Year. 100%. There's nobody doing it like this. This is a legendary rookie campaign. He has changed the landscape of this defense. The leader of this defense in the secondary is not Darius Slay. It is not CJ Gardner-Johnson. It is Quinyon Mitchell, man. And Cooper DeJean. This is amazing. Phil in the YouTube chat says, do you think if this was a full week, the Eagles offense would have scored more? I don't know. I just think they have to stop coming out of the gate and just being all over the place. You know, they're calling these wide receiver screens. I don't want to see that anymore. Jahan Dotson had a bad drop on 3rd down. I just think they light up in the second half. Whatever it is, whatever happens at halftime, this team just locks in mentally, and then they start doing everything. They start pushing all the right buttons. They are literally unguardable in the second half. So I really don't think it was the short week. I just think they come out of the gate and they use the middle of the field. You see AJ running in open space, and then they stop doing it once they get in the red zone. That's what I think, man. That's what I think. The defense, though, just continues to hold up. Lewis says, defense won the game. Dom says, great dub. Michael says, let's see what happens in L.A. Brian says, our D-line had Daniels on his heels most of the night. He did. And Jaden Daniels was also playing through that rib injury. He hurt his hand in this game. Defense was, pushing him over, man. Like, that's what you have to do. I will say the Eagles had to clean up the penalties. Couple timely penalties did cost them in this game. Couple ones that were not, or shouldn't have been penalties, but, the refs were atrocious tonight. But, man. Derek says, definitely will win Rookie of the Year. Play-by-play with JJ says, RB, the refs were atrocious tonight. They were god-awful, man. The PI on DeJean is ridiculous. The guy didn't have any penalties, I don't think, in his career, and the ref gets him on a 3rd and 5. Crucial 3rd and 5, which gave the Commanders 3 points, by the way. Honestly, those 3 points should not have been scored. They would not have gotten a field goal range. They would have punted away. So, honestly, you take those 3 away. Jake Elliott misses 7. He leaves 7 on the board. Eagles should have had 10 more points in this game, or they should have won by, a bigger margin. Refs were terrible in this game. This game has to be analyzed by the NFL. Has to be. Face mask on Devontae, the one with Saquon at the goal line, which I thought he was in on. But hey, that's the only thing I will thank the refs for, man. Thank you for not calling that a Saquon touchdown, because it helped me win my parlay with Jalen with an anytime touchdown. But man, oh man, what a night it was, man. What a night it was. What a night. But yeah, man, give me your guys' thoughts in the chat. I mean, that's really all I got in this game. This is unbelievable. What a performance. That's how you beat down a division team. That's how you get it done. And the Eagles come alive in the fourth quarter, and Saquon rushes for 2 big-time touchdowns late in this game. I mean, that's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. Saquon gets better as the game goes on. He looks fresh as heck at any point in this ball game. Doesn't matter, man. Doesn't matter. Now you get 10 days off. You won 6 in a row. This team's on fire, man. 9 for 16 on third down. 434 yards of offense. You held them to 264. Both teams, 11 drives. 228 yards on the ground, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. You only went 1 for 3 in the red zone, but hey, you controlled the time of possession. You controlled the tempo of this game by running the ball effectively, especially in the second half. Dominic says the refs had me hot in this game. Dave says god awful refs. Exactly, man. They almost blew the game. They almost blew it. Play-by-play with JJ says, shout out to Calcaterra. Dude, that was one of the plays of the game. There's like 4 plays I could think of that literally saved this game. It was the big stop on 4th down by the Eagles that, honestly, I don't know why the Commanders didn't take the points. That was something that Nick Sirianni would have done. I said it in the moment. Dan Quinn should have took the points. You would have been up by 1. Count on your defense to make a stop. But nah, they try to go for it. And Jaden Daniels almost fumbled the snap into our hands. But man, you had that. You had the Calcaterra recovery. You had Saquon. Zach Bone with a couple big-time plays. This team is clicking right now on all cylinders. ABD says, I love seeing the team getting fired up on the sidelines. This team's clicking, man. And Nick Sirianni's been giving some speeches to this team. They're like, what does Nick do? He's giving some great speeches pregame to this team. It is so nice. It is so nice to see this team back in action. And I think if they just figure out the first half woes and stop making these games heart attacks, I think they could beat anybody. I do, man. So, man, I am so fired up. It is midnight. It is midnight, and I don't think I'm going to sleep after this game, man. I really don't. I think I got to go back and watch Saquon highlights for the next 3 hours because, man, that was incredible. Kudos to the Washington Commanders. Have had a good season, but this is still the Eagles division, baby. I called it at the beginning of the year. I said Eagles 1, Commanders 2, Cowboys 3, and Giants 4. Giants are an absolute crap show. If I was a Giants fan tonight, I mean, literally, if you guys have Giant fans that are friends or family, reach out to them. See if they're doing all right. I mean, you talk about a franchise that's been in the cellar for how many years now? They give up Saquon. They let him walk. They think Daniel Jones is more valuable than Saquon. Oh, it's an absolute beauty. I might go watch Hard Knocks tonight. Saquon Barkley, man, what an addition to this squad. And then you have the Cowboys. Their season's done. We put them to bed last week. The Eagles own this division, man. This is the Eagles' division to lose. And they put that on full display tonight. This is the link, baby. This is the link. This is Philadelphia. Big time win, man. Big time win. David says, life is good when the Eagles are good. It really is, man. It really is, man. Yeah, Eagles own this, man. Let's look at the upcoming schedule. Let's look at the upcoming schedule, and then we'll get out of here. But, man, appreciate everybody being in here late night with me, man. I'm still fired up. So the Eagles have 10 days off. Then they play the L.A. Rams in L.A. Then they play the Ravens, the Panthers, Steelers, Commanders again, Cowboys, New York. What do you think the final record is going to be for the Philadelphia Eagles? If you had to predict right now in this chat, they're 8-2 right now. All right, 8-2. They got 7 games to go. What will their final record be? If I had to be honest here, right? I think the Rams could be a little bit of a tricky game on the road. It's kind of tough to play out there, but I've watched them the last couple of weeks. They're not that good. They're really not. Ravens will be a test. Carolina. Eagles should win that game 55-3. Pittsburgh, a test, but I think the Eagles are better. Washington, going to be a good game. I could see them winning the second one. Dallas stinks and New York stinks. So if I had to guess, I think the Eagles maybe lose 2 more games. Maybe. They might lose 2 more games, which means they would go 13-4, which means they would go 5-2 in the next 7. I think that's realistic, man. I think it's realistic. I think they're going to go 13-4. I think they're going 13-4, man. Jim says my wife is a Giants fan. She hasn't watched in 2 years. Jim, take care of her, man. Take care of her. I know she's going through it right now. You know what, Jim? You should buy her a Saquon Barkley jersey for Christmas, man. You should buy her a Saquon jersey just for the heck of it. Derek says, you're the man, RB. You're the man, Derek. Appreciate you being in here. Jamie says 13-4. Play-by-play with JJ on the cautious side says 11-6. Flatline says 12-5. Ryan says 13-4. Brian 13-4. Nikhil says 14-3. David says 14-3. ABD says I think we lose 2 more. Derek 14-3. Hunter 14-3. Jester 14-3. JJ says 12-5. David says only loss will be the Ravens. Man, oh man. I tell you what, getting that number 1 seed, that's going to be important for this team. It's going to be very important. They need that number 1 seed. That way they can have home field throughout. They can get the bye. You don't want to go to Detroit in the NFC Championship. That's going to be a rowdy environment. They were there last year. They know what they need to do. That would be a really good matchup, though. It really would. I don't want to get ahead of myself, though. One at a time. One at a time. Hope everybody is okay. Hope Jalen's all right. But what a win, man. This was the game I was waiting on. Like the last couple of weeks, you know, I'm anticipating the game. I'm like, all right, just come out there and handle business. No, this was a statement win. It should not be looked at as anything less. And they dominated in the second half again. Saquon Barkley is a Philadelphia Eagle. Thank Jeff Lurie, thank Howie Roseman for that tonight. You know, send a little thank you note. I mean, thank you, Saquon. Thank you for choosing Philadelphia. Vic Fangio has this defense balling right now. And the Eagles win again. 6 in a row. 6 in a row. Phil says, my wife was a Giants fan, no more. Look, I wouldn't be a Giants fan anymore. That organization is pooping all over him right now, man. Wow. Wow, oh wow. How many touchdowns does Saquon have now? He had 2 today. What does he have? How many does he have? I think, I was going to say 9. It says 6 here plus 2, so it's 8. Thought he had 9, but over 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. This guy's incredible. We are only halfway into the season, man. Wild. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. Once again, this is A to Z Philly post-game show presented by BetMGM. Use our code ATOZPA. Thank you for hanging out with me again on this late Thursday night. The Eagles get a win 26-18. They have won 6 in a row. They are on fire. And now they get a nice little mini bye. 10 days off before they go out to LA to play the Rams. What a game, man. What a win. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Go Birds, and I will catch you on the next one.